6 years since the release of Halo 5, fans are finally able to get their hands on the next installment in the series, Halo Infinite. Infinite was promised to be the reboot that the franchise needed, and while 343 Industries delivers their best single-player campaign experience since taking on the reins of this much-loved franchise, some questionable design decisions might leave fans questioning whether the open world genre is really the best direction of the Halo franchise. The single-player campaign begins with a prologue mission where Master Chief must infiltrate and destroy a banished warship. The prologue plays out much the same as a traditional Halo game, fast-paced action and linear mission path. This serves as a great tutorial for those who are new to the Halo franchise, while also providing long-time fans a refresh to the core gameplay mechanics and reintroducing them to their favourite array of weapons from across the series. After completing the 45-minute prologue, players are then introduced to the open world of Halo Infinite's Installation 7, Zeta Halo. Upon first stepping foot on Zeta Halo, players will feel immersed in the vast scale and beauty of this world. 343 have clearly focused much of their efforts in creating a world which feels more alive than any previous Halo game, with flowing rivers, deep valleys, and the addition of alien animal life. The open terrain provides more freedom than any previous Halo game by giving the player more choice in how they approach their mission. The world map plays out like one large battleground for the player to interact in and play based on their preferred method of combat. Players can choose to attack enemy bases head-on either by foot or use of heavy land and air vehicles. For players that would rather strategically plan out their missions, the flexibility to navigate mountains, to seek out higher vantage points, to scope out enemy bases is something which I'd never realised was lacking in previous Halo games. The single-player game is made up of the main campaign missions as well as numerous side activities spread out across the map which provides additional gameplay content. The campaign story takes players to various key locations throughout the world map, with each of these locations designed in such a way which offers a unique battle environment, giving players variation in gameplay as well as a variety of choice for how they approach each mission. Missions also take players away from the open world and into underground Forerunner structures. These missions regress to traditional Halo design with linear paths and extended corridors leading to large rooms where battles with swarms of enemies play out. These missions are a nice balance as they break up the open world elements, and fans of the series will feel very much at home here as these missions are reminiscent of the early Halo games. Outside of the main campaign, Halo Infinite offers players a variety of activities which are spread out across the world map. These include infiltrating enemy outposts, bounty targets, UNFC squad rescue missions, and liberating forward operating bases, otherwise known as FOBs. By completing these activities, players accumulate new weapons which can be retrieved at any time from FOBs, call on UNFC soldiers for assistance, and also unlock fast travel across the map. These activities are not required to complete the main story campaign, but simply provide for quick run and gun fun, which doesn't require too much time investment, appealing to those gamers with a real-life busy schedule. Probably the biggest shake-up to the Halo formula is the ability to now upgrade the Master Chief's abilities with the incentive to give you an edge over enemies during combat. Abilities are upgraded by collecting Spartan cores, which are scattered across the world map. Spartan cores act like currency to spend on upgrading the Master Chief's abilities. While this is a welcoming addition to the franchise, after a short while I found that several of these abilities went mostly unused, which made upgrading them feel a little redundant. One ability that does prove useful and a welcoming feature to the franchise is the grapple shot. The grapple shot has a variety of combat uses, including retrieving distant weapons, commandeer enemy vehicles, or launch players towards enemy targets for a quick melee attack. Outside of combat, the grapple shot makes for scaling mountain terrain not only practical, but a hell of a lot of fun. The grapple shot significantly speeds up the gameplay and makes for some fun quick escapes for when your energy shields are running low. One thing that I was impressed with was the variation in weaponry that 343 have brought to Infinite. Various weapons ranging from UNFC, Banished and Forerunner technology can be discovered across the world map, with special weapons acquired by completing bounty targets. Once discovered, these weapons can be retrieved at any of your captured FOBs. The final part to talk about is Halo Infinite's story. Despite being a long-time Halo fan, even I lost interest in the lore of Halo by the time Halo 3's end credits rolled. Fortunately, 343 have not bloated players with too much story in Infinite.
Yes! 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 We're going home!
Interactive flashbacks and overlaid dialogue recap the critical events that played out in Halo 5. 343 have scaled back the story for Infinite, which seems to acknowledge that the story needed to move on and get back to basics, but also it provided a satisfying way to honour and close out the events of Halo 4 and 5.
Part of you must recognize the grandeur of this achievement. You're not a machine, you can't be that closed off.
Halo Infinite is definitely the reboot that the franchise needed. 343 Industries have delivered their best Halo campaign since taking over the series from Bungie. While some of the open world elements may feel a little half-baked at times, for the most part these play out as a nice supplement to the main campaign story. For Halo fans expecting a solid single player campaign, Halo Infinite ticks all the boxes even if it does fall a little too short. Go in expecting a Halo open world adventure and you may just come out feeling a little bit disappointed.